It was exactly at 4:07 p.m. on July 21st, yesterday, when Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar dropped a political bombshell in the Rajya Sabha, announcing an impeachment motion against two judges, including, of course, Justice Yashwant Verma, backed by 63 opposition MPs. The move seemingly caught the government completely off guard, triggering a wave of damage control meetings and also exposing cracks within the ruling establishment. Many believe that what I'm referring to about what happened at 4:07 p.m. yesterday in the Rajya Sabha, that moment was the actual tipping point that led to Dhankar's shock resignation just hours later. What are we talking about? What exactly happened in those 5 or more hours which ultimately led to Dhankar resigning? All the details in our report first.
Whether a similar motion has been
This is the
moved
most viral speech of Jagdeep Dhankar, who unexpectedly resigned from the post of Vice President.
I need to inform you that I have received notice of motion under Article 217.
The question is, did the countdown of Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation begin with this very speech?
To constitute a statutory committee for removal of Justice Yashwant Verma, Judge of the High Court of Judicature at Rajasthan, at Allahabad.
In his 12-minute speech, what exactly did Dhankar say that irked the government?
It is signed by more than 50 members of the Council of States, and thus it meets the numerical requirement of signing by members of Parliament for setting in motion a process for removal of a High Court judge.
On Monday, 2 BARC meetings were held. The first took place at 12:30 p.m., attended by Union Ministers Kiren Rijiju and JP Nadda. However, when the meeting was reconvened at 4:30 p.m., these leaders were notably absent. That explained 4-hour gap has become central to the political drama, widely believed to be tipping point behind Dhankar's resignation. In the timeline leading to his resignation, 2 p.m. stands out as a crucial moment. At that time, Vice President Dhankar accepted notices from opposition MPs regarding the impeachment motion against Justice Yashwant Verma.
The motion indicated there are 55 members seeking removal, but actually it was not 55, it was only 54. So obviously an inquiry was conducted to find out from the member who had signed twice, allegedly. The honorable member declined his second signature, and that made the matter a little more serious, because it was required of me then to get to the bottom of the issue and find out whether the representation was meriting consideration.
Exactly 2 hours later, at 4:07 p.m., Dhankar publicly announced the notice in the Rajya Sabha, signed by 63 opposition MPs. This announcement from the chair created an awkward moment for the government. Sources say the government was completely blindsided. They weren't informed, and had they been, ruling party MPs would have likely signed on too. This announcement from the chair created an awkward moment for the government, leading to internal friction. Thus, Dhankar's failure to brief the government on the motion against Justice Verma became the turning point. After the House was adjourned, Dhankar reportedly instructed Secretary General to proceed formally with the notice. Notably, Dhankar is a constitutional expert and a strong advocate for judicial reforms.
Judges who will legislate, who will perform executive functions, who will act as super parliament. and absolutely have no accountability because law of the land does not apply to them.
His stance evidently did not sit well with the government, as seen during the heated debate on Operation Sindoor, where JP Nadda strongly intervened despite sitting in the chair.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के सारी पॉइंट्स को देश और दुनिया के सामने रखा जाएगा और मैं ये भी बताना चाहता हूं कि आज दिन तक आजादी के बाद इस तरीके का ऑपरेशन नहीं हुआ जो प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हुआ है। I am not going into the details of it, but I would like to tell you, अरे गुस्सा मत करो भैया, अरे गुस्सा मत करो। Nothing will go on record. Whatever I'll say, that will go on record. You should know.
At 4:07 p.m. on Monday, Dhankar's handling of the impeachment motion deepened the rift with the government. This strained relationship is believed to be the reason why JP Nadda and Kiran Rijiju skipped the later BARC meeting. The government felt that while it was advancing its campaign to remove Justice Verma, Dhankar's sudden move in the Rajya Sabha disrupted their plan, much to the opposition's delight. This was seen as a setback to the government's strategy. Following this, BJP MPs were summoned to Rajnath Singh's office to secure their signatures. And allied party MPs were also called in. Everyone was strictly instructed not to discuss the matter with the media and to remain in Delhi for the next 4 days. By evening, the government had shifted into damage control. In a striking twist, at 5 p.m., opposition MPs Pramod Tiwari and Akhilesh Prasad Singh met Dhankar, and senior Congress leader Jairam Ramesh spoke to him by phone at 7:30 p.m. Despite growing opposition, Dhankar remained unaware of the political storm building against him. And in this tense, fast-moving atmosphere, he resigned. In the corridors of power, where strategy and loyalty often collide, Jagdeep Dhankar's dramatic exit is a reminder even the highest offices are not immune to the undercurrents of politics.
Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar dropped a political bombshell by announcing that the opposition had submitted a notice for the removal of Justice Verma. This even before the Lok Sabha Speaker could have made an announcement of receiving a joint notice by the ruling and opposition party MPs in the lower house. This undid the government's effort that worked tirelessly behind the scenes over its strategy to get the opposition on board and sign a notice for the removal of Justice Verma. It seemed to hand over victory to the opposition, even if it was momentary. With video journalist Deepak Bhisht, this is Mosmi Singh in Delhi for India Today.
So was there differences with the central government over the manner in which Jagdeep Dhankar yesterday in the Rajya Sabha moved forward with the impeachment proceedings with opposition signatures, not necessarily with the government? Is that what led to him resigning as the vice president? Amid all of the speculation, mind you, the opposition today is in fact campaigning for Dhankar, raising questions about his resignation, questioning the government. But previously, they've labelled him as a biased, as a pro-government leader as well. Let's highlight for you what Jagdeep Dhankar as Vice President, what his relationship was like with the Modi government. There were times when he's challenged the government, defending judicial independence, even questioning the centre on farmer issues. Here's a look at his rather dynamic relationship with the central government over the last few years.
मुझे खुशी है कि इस महत्वपूर्ण कालखंड में उच्च सदन को आपके जैसा सक्षम और प्रभावी नेतृत्व मिला है.
This was less than 3 years ago, when an emotional Jagdeep Dhankar was welcomed to the upper house of parliament by none less than the Prime Minister. Throughout his tenure, Dhankar had been dubbed to be too close to the BJP, often towing the Modi government's line. His body language, his praise of the Prime Minister, his clashes with the opposition, both as Bengal governor and then as Rajya Sabha chairperson, all contributed to the pro-Modi label. Dhankar had even stood firm with the centre on several issues while defending even the RSS in the house.
मैं आरएसएस का एकलव्य बन गया और क्यों बना? तपस्वी लोग हैं, राष्ट्रभक्त हैं, समर्पण की भावना उत्कृष्ट है, दूसरे विचार को ग्रहण करते हैं और मैं तो आश्चर्यचकित हूं कि खुद के अलावा देश की सोचते हैं, समाज की सोचते हैं.
He even faced an impeachment motion by the opposition in December last year, which was defeated. But this is just one side of Dhankar's legacy. He had also surprised many, including the centre, when he took a strong position against the judiciary. He raised an alarm over what he called judicial overreach, but had also defended the independence of the judiciary. Even during the farmers' protest, Dhankar had urged the centre to speak to the farmers.
मैं खुद कृषक पुत्र हूं, मैं जानता हूं किसान क्या कुछ नहीं झेलता है. किसान से वार्ता अविलंब होनी चाहिए और हमें सबको जानकारी होनी चाहिए. क्या किसान से कोई वादा किया गया था? माननीय कृषि मंत्री जी, आपसे पहले जो कृषि मंत्री जी थे, क्या उन्होंने लिखित में कोई वादा किया था? यदि वादा किया था तो उसका क्या हुआ?
So where did Jagdeep Dhankar really stand? A man in constitutional office, perceived to be loyal to the regime, yet someone who hasn't shied away from calling out the government when he believed that democratic values or institutional boundaries were at stake. Is that ultimately what led to his abrupt exit from the chair? Bureau Report, India Today.
So now the process officially kicks off to choose the next vice president. Lot of names doing the rounds. We're not going to speculate here on India Today because right now there is no clear contender or front runner. But let's take a look at what really the numbers look like. Remember that in the case of a vice president, it is an electoral college essentially. So candidate needs 392 votes to win. You look at the Rajya Sabha, it's a little challenging there for the NDA because remember the number of 392 votes. So the Rajya Sabha, the NDA has 133, the India bloc has 78, others are 29. So you need a candidate who essentially you get the opposition on board with over as well. In the Lok Sabha, the NDA doing a bit better there with 293, India bloc at 234 and others at 15. So the total MPs is 426. India bloc is at 312, others at 44. So the number that's needed of 392, you've got the NDA passing that with 426. The total voting strength essentially is at 782. So you combine the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and the total MPs there, the 426 that we've highlighted of the NDA, that's the important number because what it means is that the NDA will be able to choose exactly who they want as the next vice president. As to who it will be in the coming days, we should hopefully have some sort of indication as to who is the front runner, who's in contention. For now, there are several senior leaders' names that are doing the rounds. Well, the opposition has been, in fact, raising the issue of Dhankar's resignation. They pushed for his impeachment just months ago, just about 6 months ago. And now suddenly, Jagdeep Dhankar is at the center of the opposition's concern. His sudden resignation has triggered political tremors, with the Congress hinting that there are deeper reasons. The BJP has dismissed it, saying it's all just pure drama.
The political winds have shifted dramatically around Jagdeep Dhankar.
A senior leader of your party videographing another member of another party, mimicry of the chairman, mimicry of speaker, how ridiculous, how shameful.
Once branded by opposition as government's mouthpiece and targeted for impeachment. Dhankar now finds unexpected defenders within the opposition. Congress leaders are questioning Dhankar's sudden resignation as Vice President, flagging the absence of Kiren Rijiju and JP Nadda from a key parliament meet he chaired on Monday. Jairam Ramesh says the Business Advisory Committee met at 12:30 p.m. on Monday with both ministers present, but when it reconvened at 4:30 p.m., they did not return. Dhankar then rescheduled the meeting on Tuesday. Congress believes something serious unfolded in that window. Congress claims after Dhankar's last meeting at 6 p.m., some BJP MPs were seen rushing to Rajnath Singh's office and claim they were made to sign blank papers. Shortly after, at 9:25 p.m., Dhankar surprisingly resigned.
सरकार की तबीयत खराब है, प्रॉब्लम ये है, तो उनको कोई ना कोई बकरा मिलना चाहिए, तो वो कुछ ना कुछ बहाने बना के बेचारे को उतरवा दिए।
सारा दिन आप काम कर रहे हैं और अचानक आप इस्तीफा दे देते हैं स्वास्थ्य कारणों से, तो ये समझ में नहीं आता है। तो कुछ तो बात है, कोई ना कोई तो बात है, किसी ना किसी बात से तो इतने ज्यादा आहत हुए कि वो इस्तीफा देने के ऊपर मजबूर हो गए।
हम जानना चाहते हैं सरकार से ऐसा हुआ क्या कि उन्होंने शाम को इस तरीके से इस्तीफा दिया है, कि क्या हेल्थ एक कारण है या उनको किसी तरीके से उन पे के ऊपर कार्रवाई की मांग हुई या कुछ हुआ है।
Leader of Rajya Sabha, JP Nadda, responded saying both he and Rijiju had informed Dhankar about their absence from the parliamentary meeting, insisting that he did not target the chair when he reprimanded unruly opposition benches.
Nothing will go on record. Whatever I'll say, that will go on record. You should know.
The BJP accused the opposition of double standards, questioning it for pushing for Dhankar's removal before and now suddenly rushing to his defense.
उनके दिमाग में काला है, दाल में काला नहीं है। चीज पर आप राजनीति कर रहे हो यार। कोई इंसान somebody is not well, वो भाई बात करते करते अब हम गिर जाएं, आप गिर जाएं, किसी को अगले पल का पता है।
This resignation has unleashed a storm of speculation, accusations and political drama, with much still left unsaid and unknown. With Aishwarya Paliwal and Maushami Singh in Delhi. Bureau Report, India Today.
Away from all of the questions over why and the circumstances in which Jagdeep Dhankar has resigned, let's take you through the next report where we kind of highlight what his tenure looked like. I'm leaving you with this one. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.
मैं जगदीप धनखड़
ईश्वर की शपथ
लेता हूं कि मैं
20 days short of a 3-year tenure, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has tendered his resignation.
मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूं।
Dhankar's tenure was marked by constitutional assertiveness, strong parliamentary interventions.
A member of parliament mocking the institution of chairman as an individual, take on me. Don't take on my background as a farmer.
Global diplomatic footprints, defense advocacy, youth-centric messaging, and calls for national unity, all terminating because of health reasons. But while he carried a legacy of legal acumen and assertion, the Vice President also brushed with controversy every now and then.
संविधान के प्रति निष्ठा रखते हैं, ये अम्बेडकर का संविधान बदलना चाहते हैं।
In December last year, at least 60 opposition MPs of the India bloc moved to impeach Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, accusing him of being partisan in his role as Rajya Sabha chairperson.
वे अपनी अगली प्रमोशन के लिए सरकार के स्पोक्स पर्सन बनकर काम कर रहे हैं, ऐसा हमें दिख रहा है।
जो चेयरमैन साहब हैं वो अंपायर होते हैं, वो निष्पक्ष होते हैं। चुन कर सरकार बीजेपी के जो सांसद हैं उनको बुलाया गया कि बोलो आपको क्या बोलना है।
In March, the Vice President made yet another move that wasn't received well by the opposition. He dismissed a breach of privilege notice by the Congress against Home Minister Amit Shah. criticizing the motion as a move to ruin reputations.
कुछ ऐसी ताकतें हैं देश में और बाहर जो भारत की प्रगति को पचा नहीं पा रहे हैं। आप सोचिए।
Thankar also sparked controversy in April with his fierce criticism of the Supreme Court's judgment which set deadlines for the president to clear state assembly bills.
Parliament is supreme. It is as supreme as every individual in the country. Part of we the people is an atom in democracy. And that atom has atomic power. And that atomic power is reflected during elections. And that is why we are a democratic nation. बहुत सहन शक्ति है।
Thankar's parliament rebukes have a history of their own. Who can forget this moment when TMC's Kalyan Banerjee imitated Thankar outside the parliament during an opposition protest as Rahul Gandhi captured the moment on cam? It sparked a sharp response from Thankar.
I have adjourned the house. Imagine a senior leader of your party videographing another member of another party, mimicry of the chairman, mimicry of speaker. How ridiculous, how shameful, how unacceptable.
Last July, the Rajya Sabha chairperson reprimanded Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge for undermining the chair's authority amid opposition protests.
You cannot every time run down the chair. You cannot every time show disrespect to the chair. आप अचानक खड़े होते हैं और कुछ भी कह देते हैं, मेरी बात को समझते भी नहीं है.
You may be sitting on the chair. And I remember when I went to school.
In August, Thankar hit back at Samajwadi Party MP Jaya Bachchan after she called his tone unacceptable.
I don't want schooling. You may be anybody. You may be a celebrity. You have to understand the decorum.
While spirited in Parliament less than a year ago, the Vice President was hospitalized weeks before the surprise announcement. He was admitted to AIIMS over cardiac-related ailments. Soon after, he fainted during an event in Uttarakhand and was advised to rest. It's been less than a month since then, and the health scares now seem cues that have culminated to the Vice President bowing out. Bureau Report, India Today.